My name is Rachel Lyon. I'm the Park Supervisor for Riverside Park and Ralph Mitchell Zoo in Independence, Kansas. A lot of things we have to play by ear. We are the victims of budget cuts just like anybody else. So we are understaffed like everyone else, so we have to wear a lot of hats. Generally, this being summertime, it would be gardening time, but we also are rebuilding our carousel at the same time. So it's a lot of juggling, and every day is juggling. So my job duties, I'm the landscape architect. I'm the person in charge of repairing the amusement rides. We have a miniature train. We have a 1950 carousel. We have a miniature golf course. We also have a lot of historic buildings. We do our own vehicle repair by and large. So there are a lot of things. Of the 106-acre park and zoo, I'm responsible for 53 of them, unless it's any kind of forestry management. So I'm the horticulturist. I'm the forestry management person. I'm the building vehicle ride repair person. So it's a lot of hats. It is a very physical job. It is outdoors. It's in any kind of weather. I like, especially I'm a female in a male-dominated environment, and I like that I can buck hay and stack firewood and rebuild a carburetor. It's really gratifying not having to have, someone who typically does these things do them for me. I like to do all the things. So I like doing repair. I like making things beautiful, and really, aside from kind of being a park and city historian, because we have a lot of interesting historical things, I'm the park esthetician. We make memories here. That's why I tell people all the time, and we want them to be good ones. I get to make things beautiful for a living. It's hard work. It's nice, if you know how to do something, you won't get swindled. So we can't always hire things out. But yeah, I'm the park esthetician. I provide the backdrop for senior photos and your baby pictures and wedding photos and family reunions and birthday parties, all manner of things. So I'm very lucky. For me, it's creative problem solving. I would say that is the bulk of my job. We have 14-foot tall slides that have been around since about 1900. We have buildings from anywhere 1917 to built by the WPA in the 30s. There are always, we're not quite sure where our water lines and not everything run. Everything's, the park's been around for a long time. We just celebrated our 100th anniversary. So creative problem solving is a huge part of my job. Creativity is spurred by limits, not freedom. So we have limited staff, limited budget, limited time, and so that's where you really get to dig deep and find solutions to things that would not be so obvious if you didn't have those constraints. So I get up to every day, and you never know what you're going to face, and I really enjoy doing that. I can MacGyver a whole lot of things. I said we have a 1950 Allen Herschel carousel. It was purchased by donations from the community. It was installed with volunteer labor from the community in 1952. It's a nickel. It's always been a nickel. We never make money on the carousel. It has, over the years, they're aluminum horses, so, things where there have been a lot of bottoms on those saddles since 1952. So we needed to repaint the horses. I know one local artist. She was the high school art teacher. She was retired. Of course, she knew other artists. And so we kind of got together. She recruited people to paint them for me because I'm a biologist by study. I'm not really, I don't consider myself an artist, or at least I didn't. And I'm a big DIYer, you know. I was going to go to the local lumber yards and ask for, you know, like really good paint donations. Word got out, and then so we have a local gentleman who sells automotive and industrial paint. Donated all the paint. Another lady donated reupholstering the benches. Then we had these artists come in to give a whole new face to 20 beautiful horses, and it was really fantastic. You know, they're really works of art. And that one high school teacher, she actually painted individual murals on the backs of every single bench that we had in there. They're amazing. And so really it was not just staff, because I put in just crazy hours painting these things and all that, but it was a lot of community involvement, people who really care, who really wanted to have a legacy to leave behind, because of course painting something with something better than house paint lasts a lot longer. Something that we can really be proud of. And then at the end of it all, we actually coordinated a dinner for those people who volunteered their time and services, and we had it at the carousel, and no one had ever done that before. We had a buffet line set up, but even then we had, you know, our local civic center donated the tables and chairs. A local restaurant ordered the linens for us and let us borrow real plates, real silverware, real glassware. Let us just borrow it. And it was kind of amazing. So we all sat out, you know, in a perfect night, and had great food, and then we just all rode the carousel for free. And you know, and all the people who came to help were recognized, and it was really a wonderful thing that, you know, the community could be proud of, because of course it's still a nickel. So that park is the one place that no matter what your income level, you can have a great time. Whether it's the playground, we have the train that's $0.25, we have miniature golf that's $1, we have a carousel that's a nickel, we have a free zoo. First monkey in space came from our zoo, you know. So, you know, we have all of these things, and to have it look run down and like no one cared about it. And so I called up my old boss and I said, I'm just letting you know I'm going to apply for this job. And he hired me, and I uprooted my whole family, you know, sold our house at the bottom of the housing market in 19 days. Really had to price it right, to come back. And you know, I spent 3 months just pulling weeds, just getting it back to ground zero. And it kind of worked up from there. And then I saw, you know, other things that needed to be fixed. And I'm like, okay, well, we need to take care of this. I know how to do this. And then I saw another thing that needed to be fixed. And what it ended up is I started off as the horticulturist, to now they created this position. It never existed before. For me, you know, and my counterpart on the zoo side, same thing. You know, didn't have that position before, but we both worked our way up in our respective ways to doing that. Now, our park, zoo, and cemetery, and actually our new supervisor or director, I'm sorry, you know, they consolidated. We have a cemetery across the street from us, and they consolidated the park, zoo, and cemetery under one umbrella. So my boss is also a woman, had a position created for her to manage. You know, I'm obviously a woman, had a position created for me, and Katie is a woman, had a position. It's never before been run by women. I think it's important to not be a shrinking violet.